Not one person on the internet can say, I'm not bright. Not one person on the internet can say, I am not a brilliant politician. I don't absorb negativity, and I say what things are and they happen as I say it. I am Isat Buchanan, attorney at law and the member of parliament for Portland Eastern.
What do you think truly resonated with the voters down there?
You know, there's something that no one can take away from me at any time. It's I am you. There's a difference when you're yourself every day. I wake up and I am myself, with all my flaws. I never hide from my conviction. I never hide from my past. I have a show called Context Matters, and it arose from similar situations where in Jamaica, there's the reality that there are two Jamaicas that exist. There are some people who have reign to say anything, do anything because of color, because of class, because of nepotism. And then there are those of us like me who, regardless of being bright, regardless of being ambitious, there are those who say you should go on and go into a box and stay there. There's no room to flourish. So everything that's happened in the space, especially Portland Eastern, there was an idea that somebody like me, a Rasta man, a black man, notwithstanding appearing before the Privy Council, the highest court in the land, even Parliament is subject to, that there would be some belief that the space could not be a space I could be a part of. I never held that view.
Mm-hmm. All right. And you believe that your constituents saw this in you and this connected with them?
Yes. Every youth, every mother, every parent, brother, sister, I represent them. I represent hope. I represent change, and more than anything, as I said, when it comes to myself, I make the impossible possible, and that is something that resonated with them when I said I'm here for change. How can we fix this? I moved there. I live among the people, and that's important for them.
You're from an entertainment family.
Oh yes, man.
How has Big Youth responded to your win and your siblings?
Well, your brother is Zambo is here.
Yeah.
Zambo is, I say this all the time. Zambo is Michael. I am Tito. If you know anything about
the Jackson 5? Yeah, man.
you know where I fall on the musical spectrum.
Yes.
But yeah, my father is always excited about anything that I do. He watches, and he, let me not trouble it. I got told him, Big Youth, and he ready move. I not go do that. Yeah, he's the government gave him a national honors, one of those OD things, and he was appreciative of that. But entertainers, and he maintains that entertainers should kind of like not participate in politics. That is his view. Notwithstanding that he did come on the political platform on my behalf, but in the capacity as my father, who happens to be an entertainer. So there's a space for it, but I always take guidance from my father, and I accepted that it should be separate.
Okay, so Zambo is Tito.
No.
Zam.
Let's make this clear. Zambo is Michael.
Okay, Zambo is Isat. Tito and Isat.
Yes.
Tito. Any others?
Yes, there is Marcus, who also has the musical gene, but Zambo is the apparent heir to the musical legacy.
Yeah. And you, yes, based on you being Tito, It tells me that you have more than dabbled in entertainment.
Yes,
Yes.
man. Big artist, double cardboard.
Okay. How do you see yourself now balancing the role and the demands of being a member of parliament and any interest that you would have had in music?
So I can tell you this. At 47, and even long before that, I won't bore you with the story of the Baba and what my destiny was and what I saw of it. But the
No,
best thing, I can tell you the story of the Baba.
yeah.
I would have I did my album Lovers Rock, and this is sometime in 2010 probably. And I was sure it was going to be the next big thing. And I met a Baba, and when I brought the album for him to bless it, and he had 5 stones in his hand, and he drops the stones, and the stones went, we were dodging the stones. I knew immediately what that meant. It was not for me. And he asked me, do you have a sibling? And I say, yes. Well, he says, that's the Michael and you're Tito. But don't feel bad. You're going to be a lawyer, and you're going to manage the affairs of your brother and your father, which is the current position.
When was this?
This 2010, I had no, I mean, coming off of a stint of incarceration, one would, when somebody says to me, you're going to be a lawyer, you know that you're ready to call that person a fraud, but he says, that's what's in the stars for you. Fast forward, I became an attorney, and thereafter, I still put out music. My music have appeared in American Gangster. I do music with my father and my brother. I get my sound scan check. I monetize music and understand that music for me is a pastime. It is a safe space. And so I don't need the double platinum, and I don't need to compete with the rest of it. It's my happy place.
So you know that based on that story that you have just said, somebody watching this video is going to say, "Oh, Obia you use beat and reverse."
Hold it. Let me explain something to you. God and time is a formula to life. Life equals time plus chance created. And once you know yourself, once you tap into God, and you appreciate that, listen, Black people, and I speak of it all the time, we especially in Jamaica, where we have survived the Middle Passage. We are children of slaves. Well, someone's gonna say, not me, and fine for you, but that experience is never lost. Yes? And so when it comes to religion and finding your spiritual identity, we here in Jamaica have what is known as restorative justice. And in that component, there's something known as the healing circle. In African religion and tribes and the Afro identity, you have the Baba, you have the leaders in the village, you have the healing circle, and that's where spirituality comes from. So when a spiritualist speaks on your life and they bless you and they say you're the warrior, you are the intellects, and they set out society as it is. We have lost that. All we have now is call centers and what they call it, hospitality industries, when the brightest and best of us don't get to become the best versions of themselves. And for somebody to say Obia to beat action, and I'm a maroon. I know myself. I'm a strong, intelligent, powerful Black man. How can anybody think any less of me and expect any less?
Is spiritual healing your happy place?
Of course, my mother, the Reverend Dr. Joan Portius, you see how I smile? She used to wake me up every morning and have me read Psalms and sing Sweet Hour of Prayer. You never knew why, but you were learning just like school. It becomes a part of your life. And channeling God is something that makes me confident in myself. I'm unbreakable.
Mm. You mentioned entertainment as being part of your vision, how you were raised, and it's in your DNA. What role do you see entertainment playing in the development of Portland?
All right, so I'm happy you said that. Portland, somewhere along the line, the nightlife was lost. I want to say, in the entire Jamaica, the Noise Abatement Act was a, a, a legislation that curtailed freedom of expression and culture. We don't have entertainment zones, and we don't get the experience of South Beach and all of these areas where Brooklyn, Vegas, where this city never sleeps. Well, in Portland, what we want to do in 5 divisions is resurrect entertainment, the dance hall, the culture, and there's a lot of talent in that space. And so for entertainment, because Jamaica strives off of tourism, entertainment, and sports, can't forget that, tackle a little agriculture on it, and then you're good. We have to ensure that I know I'm committing to ensure that at the end of this, there's a studio there to have Portland has talent, and give them the space and let them know that it's not only farm work cards that's there for you. You can go on tour. You can tour Europe if you can't get a US visa. You can go to the United Kingdom, and your music can change your lives. That's some of our best of Jamaica are the dancehall artists.
What are some of the things? Maybe the first things though
Mhm.
towards that goal that you need to do to get entertainment nightlife up and running.
You know,
Would
again, I can tell you, in Portland, as I said, the entertainment zones, unfortunately, the People's National Party didn't emerge as the government of the day. So what will take place is 5 years of um, political pageantry. Let me put it nicely, where the government of the day will, from political experience in any country, make it difficult for the opposition to materialize. But I'm vigilant, and I call out anything that is unbecoming, and I call out the unrighteous, because what I'm ensuring is that we don't disenfranchise the people. So I'm continuing to focus on education. Portland voted and made it abundantly clear. Education matters, and the road to escape poverty is education. Entertainment falls in that, and I'm launching the DEEP program. That's the Digital Economy Education Program. And it's in line with what you're talking about what happens in the social media space and how to monetize that.
does that mean that if something towards developing the entertainment program over there requires legislation, that is something that you would be prepared to take to the parliament?
Of course, what you're going to see certainly from myself is introduction, suggesting what legislation would look like to manage spaces. My contribution, whether it be an amendment or an introduction of a new legislation, um, having just a space where the law will be able to regulate what is to happen in that space. That's something that I'm processing.
Mhm. Um, in terms of after your sworning though, do you yet have a kind of like a 1, 2, 3 of what would be the first thing that you would do after you're sworn in?
I'm gonna tell you something. I live down there. The first thing I want is water in my pipes. The bucket life is no more. The water trucks are in, or we're ending the days where you have to buy water from NP. That's no more. I'm there.
Mm, okay. And you think that being a part of all of that resonated with the people because they're living everything that they're living?
I'm living everything that they're living, but the people know what they want. I'm just a servant. At some point in political life in Jamaica, politicians thought they were more than the people. And it is only the Constitution. And if you respect and appreciate the Constitution, you accept that the Constitution says you're the creature. That's the Prime Minister, the ministers, the government is the creature of the day, and the human beings are the masters.
Are you describing yourself as the servant of the people?
I am the servant of the few.
Because in 2007, former Prime Minister Bruce Golding said he wants to be called the chief servant as Prime Minister for the entire Jamaica.
That's the beauty of an anomaly of a Bruce Goldie and how the Jamaican people lost the opportunity of another Goldie who understands the law and appreciates the role of servant versus master. And the reality is, if you're the least among us and you're a Jamaican citizen, the political electorate class is your servant. We are flight attendants in the sky, the gardener, the helper. We are that. And if we see above that, that's where the miscommunication comes in. And I think that's what's resonated with it.
Is that, though, generally speaking, part of the reasons for the voter apathy that we see because there's a disconnect between the electors and the people who offer themselves to in their service? They're seeing two different sets of individuals. I am not you and you're not me, and so we can't. There is no point of convergence.
What that's a good question. I will say to you that the reality is this. You can't fake honesty. You can't fake human dignity. You can't fake accountability. You can't fake integrity. What is lost among the voter and the politicians is the fact that when you're hungry, when you're poor, when you're struggling to structure your life and survive day to day, who cares about what's happening with the political space? That's for them tea. Me just a try to live. Me just want get my food. Me just don't want my baby mother asking me out school for the pay because the voucher them from the politician can't buy one book. Yeah. That is the reason for that.
All right. So I just want to be clear that you are not aware of the firestorm that is in the digital space of what is happening because of your whim over there.
I'm not aware.
Okay.
But I will say I can explain why I'm not aware.
Mm-hmm.
When I was doing the cartel case, a lot of social media bloggers and vloggers and tweeters and texters or whatever you call them, they emerged. Persons with no media experience, no lot in life, no ability, and they just own a cell phone and a little internet, and they just come on and they spew what is known as ad hominem attacks. Not one person on the internet can say I don't have capacity. Not one person on the internet can say, I'm not bright. Not one person on the internet can say, I am not a brilliant politician. I don't absorb negativity, and I say what things are and they happen as I say it.
How did you mobilize the votes for the victory? The plot for me the chart to lecture of Nike and the content.
Can I say heights of great men reach and kept were not attained by sudden flight?
You did say heights of
Yeah.
great men, and that's not how I learned it in school.
Tell me.
So I learned the heights that great
Good
men.
enough. I was courty.
Okay, you were quite inside.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
You didn't ever get to the part where I said they while their companions were sleeping. But anyway, let's be serious. How did I do this? I did the work. I walked to every division. I went house to house. I was in the market. I was at the nine nights. I was at the funerals. I was at the graduations. I was in the spaces at the beach, everywhere, in more time. Every single place in the valley, Manjamia, Hector's River, Ferry Hill, Prospect, Port Antonio, you name it, Snow Hill, Norwich. The point I'm making, I met the people. I did the canvas myself and realized there and then that even if I was there for 18 years, I still would not have met and interacted with everybody. It's an ongoing process. You have to listen to the people. You have to have humility and understand your role. And that's certainly what I be.
Okay. What was their pitch to you, and what was your pitch to them?
So my pitch to them is for their children. I want their children to become the best version of themselves.